everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Chelsea 2. Wrexham 2. I'm here with Kev. It is 5:21 a.m.
Still going strong.
Still going strong. Listen, I sound really happy, and I am happy. I'm glad to be back to it, Kev.
Yeah.
Big up to Kev, by the way. You've come all the way from Stoke, travelled 150 miles, taken the night off. You've done a night shift, essentially, with me.
Yeah.
All to help the channel. So
all for the love of
lots
Chelsea
of love
TV.
for Kev in the chat, please, in the comments. But the question is, should there be love for Chelsea? And I mean, if I was going to ask you yes or no, just off the bat, Kev, what would your answer be based on what we've just seen?
Always yes, never a doubt. If anybody's under the impression that we're going to hit the ground running straight away with a new manager, a new system, new players coming in from injuries, you're clearly deluded. So we've just got to take the positives. Yes, there's clearly negatives, but we've got to just ride on the positives and see where we get to, say, in 3 or 4 games. It's not going to be a simple matter of turning up and putting in these amazing performances. Things take time. So hopefully we start seeing... I just want to see a better performance next game, and then the next game after that, and just continuous improvement. And that will give me more encouragement going into next year.
Well, you're not wrong, mate. I think it's like with anything, you know, trust the process. We do take the piss, don't we, when we say that? But
that process
it's true, mate. It's true, you know. And if you don't trust whatever process it is, then there's no optimism. You're not going to have a good time. So you almost have to blindly trust these things when they start. And after a while, if nothing comes of it, then you can have your doubts. But a whole pre-season campaign is the very least that these players and the manager deserve in order to do whatever it is they need to do when the campaign starts.
Yeah.
Look, we'll go... We had 2 squads. We had 11 and another 11 in the second half. I mean, let's just go... Let's talk about the first half. I mean, what did we talk about there? I think we were very solid defensively. We didn't create a lot. Set pieces were very good. Those were the best chances that we had. Reece James almost scored a nice free kick. Badia Shield should have scored from a corner. And I think Guiu had a couple of chances as well where he could have squared it. And also, I think we had a chance from a set piece there as well. But we ended up getting the lead from Nkunku.
Yeah.
Just a good goal, a solid goal. He was in the right place at the right time and a clinical finish.
Yeah, they're very much so, and that's what we expect from a calibre player from Nkunku. And he's proved to us last season he never had many minutes, and when he did come on and had the opportunity, he scored. So hopefully that's signs of more to come from him next year. But all in all, first half was a bit better than the second half, and that's because of the defensive structure. I think the defence was nowhere near to be seen second half. Wrexham's first goal, no one got out to him to cross the ball. And when the ball came across the back line, no one reacted to it. Chilwell at the back post should have really took a look over his shoulder to pick up the 2 men at the back post. He never done that. So, second half defensively, not as good as the first half. But second half, attacking-wise, we was a bit more fluent. But what can you expect when you change your whole starting lineup second half? It's not going to be the same. Obviously, Wrexham picked up on that, and there was a lot more confident. And once they got the first goal, they knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to go and counter us and press us.
Yeah.
And they got the second goal, and that's how it is. But it's one of them things. What can we do? We can only just try and take the positives from both halves.
No, it's true, mate. It's true. I mean, we had a stage where we looked very fluid. The intensity was there. We were recovering the ball quickly, and then there you go, bang bang. Wrexham scored 2 goals. I mean, they were just terrible goals to concede, especially the first one. I was so angry with the defending for the first one. When the ball was crossed in, it went past 5 defenders, mate.
Yeah.
And I was, look, you can make mistakes. Again, it's pre-season. We're not going to overanalyze it, but say it for what it is. It was crap.
Yeah, yeah.
I think much more encouraging signs in the first half and a more mature performance because, I mean, it's all great playing, great football, but if you can't get the job done, Nobody cares. And I'd rather win at 1-0, not playing the best football in the world, rather than dropping points or playing slightly riskier football and not having that clarity. I think defensively, that's what you want. You want clarity, you want some composure. Just make smart decisions, and we didn't do that. I mean, Ugachukwu, for me, I don't like him in this system. I don't like Ugachukwu playing the role he is in midfield, where it's further up the pitch. I give him credit. I think he scored a lovely goal. But again, Wrexham were pinned back. We were going to have a chance. He was just the player that it fell to, right? And again, it was a nice finish. It was on his weak foot. Fair play to him, right? But that does not justify him playing in that position later down the line. I don't think he will. I think it was just because it was pre-season. Maresca's trying things.
Fit him in somewhere.
Yeah, everyone deserves minutes at some point. I mean, even Calvin Phillips got minutes against Celtic for Man City, right? So let's take the selection and the players and the positioning with a pinch of salt, especially in that sense. But what we do know is going to become a reoccurring theme based on what Maresca did at Leicester City is the inverted right back.
And
And we saw that with Reece James and Gusto. Interesting because we just spoke about how good we were defensively in the first half with Reece James. But I think Gusto actually did a better job within that role just based on the 45 minutes I saw.
Yeah, Gusto had a lot more energy about him. But that comes down to legs. So you got to think Reece James has been out for practically 2 seasons, hasn't he? Still got to find his feet. Gusto's had a lot more minutes. He looks a lot more fitter. So hopefully Reece James can raise his fitness levels to a Gusto level, and they can both match each other, because it's good competition to have them both in the team firing in the same position. But I can't really look too much at the introverted. I think that what strikes me is the defensive structure, especially for their first goal. Everybody was everywhere. There seemed like no one was picking anybody up. And it seems like the errors from last season are creeping back, where no one was picking players up back post. So these errors have got to be eradicated, because we don't want to be going back into next season with the same things. At the end of the day, we played against a Wrexham, against a better team. They're going to get more opportunities. They're going to have more clinical players. So for me personally, Maresca's got a lot to think about. And he's got to find a defensive formula so we can stop conceding these silly goals.
Who do you think's the best? Technically, it's like a back three, isn't it? When you've got the inverted right back, which 3 players would you pick that we have within the squad at the moment? Obviously, I know we haven't seen Disasi and some other players, but who do you think is the strongest 3 within the team?
I think it'd be Cucurella on the left.
Yeah.
I'll
probably
play
Colwell
in the middle, and then on the right before Fofana when he's fit. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the defence is relatively simple. We know our strongest defence. I don't think that's really... Maybe Gusto and Reece James, you could have that debate based on fitness. And as I said, I think Gusto did a great job. But the midfield is really where I ask a lot of questions. And I personally think Lavia had a really good game. I thought his role wasn't to run up the pitch and create chances. His role was to get things ticking and retain possession.
He done that really well.
I thought he did a good job of that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I saw some people on the watch along, they weren't happy with Lavia. I don't really understand that. Where is he going to fit into this system? Is he going to be playing ahead of Enzo, ahead of Caicedo in that particular role as sort of a 6? I personally think Enzo would suit that role, and Caicedo maybe further up the pitch like we saw with Ugachukwu. I don't know. It sort of reminds me of Maurizio Sarri, especially with what I saw with Ugachukwu. It's like when he had Kante, slightly out of possession, but you can still utilise his qualities. Just doesn't look right, though.
Nah, it didn't look comfortable, Dean. And when you're playing in the camp, you've got to be able to receive the ball on the half turn. And their second goal, I think it was... What was his name?
What, are you talking about Wrexham?
No, our centre-back, the young one. He's driving forward.
Achimpong.
Achimpong was driving forward.
We've been
He
struggling
passed
with
the
that name all
ball.
day.
He lost the ball, but Okuchukwu, another hard name to pronounce, could have received the ball in the half turn, lost the ball, and then he left us for the counter attack. So he's not comfortable there. I think Okuchukwu is more like a Lavia. I think he wants to sit with the play in front of him, spray balls, break players up.
Ogachukwu does not have the skill that Lavia
No.
has. It's just a totally different
Yeah,
player.
yeah. He's not
He's like you're 1-0 up, you bring on Ogachukwu.
break play up. Sit
I
there,
would
hold
not start Ogachukwu for Chelsea.
in the camp.
I wouldn't do it. Not at this moment in time. No,
No,
disrespect to him. I just think there's better players out
He's a
there.
very young lad. There's potential there. Great finish. Positive to say, but he didn't play in his right role today. Let's be real.
I thought Mark Guiu did really well.
Brilliant.
He was fantastic.
He was my man of my match. The work rate he put in, the enthusiasm he showed to break play up to, there's about 3 chances we had, which was because of his hard work, and a lot more to come from him. He's a big lad. He can obviously defend himself. 18, putting himself about. So a lot more to come. And I think in contrast to Broha, second half, who done the total opposite. I like to see a striker like that. We haven't really had a striker like that since Diego Costa, someone who can put himself around and try and bully defenders and put the defenders on the back foot. So
I mean,
it's good to see.
I wouldn't compare him to Costa. I think he's a little bit more intricate.
Yeah, but in respect of the hard work and the press, it takes a lot of discipline up there to do it because most strikers don't want to do the hard stuff. And he done like 45 minutes on the pitch. He done it all for the 45 minutes. He never stopped running, never stopped pressing.
Yeah.
And in the end, we had a few chances from it.
I think as well it's important to understand that with a player like Guiu and what we saw with that performance, it's not like with Gallagher. A lot of people praise his work rate. There was some end product to what he was doing. He almost created a great chance for, I think it was Nkunku. He just held onto the ball for a little bit too long. Could have scored from a set piece as well. He was stretching players out. Yeah. And I actually think that Jackson's not terrible at that either. I think towards the beginning of last season, he was really good. And then he sort of turned into more of a hold-up striker.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how the two of them gel in the squad. Jackson's definitely going to be the starting player,
100%.
but Guiu definitely has a role to play.
Yeah, of course,
coming in and causing problems. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a bit too early to judge. But yeah, I'm really happy with him. Definitely contending for man of the match.
Yeah.
And then we had Madueke as well, causing a little bit of frustration. Just struggling to finish it. Just he taking players on, and this is the thing. Like people criticize Madueke and they go, "Oh, he's not good enough." Same as last season. How can you not like a player that is willing to take players on? Eventually, it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're good enough and you've got the potential, it will shine off at some point.
Yeah, it's down to Maresca them to obviously find the improvement in him. Like I said, he's got all the potential to goal past players, but there's no point in doing that if you're going to overhit across or not find the right player in the box or take too many touches. So it's down to coaching now to get him to that level. It's very similar to Robin when he first came in, and Mourinho kind of made him into the player he was. Robin was taking too many touches in and around the box, and all of us, Robin used to cut in and shot. So we've got to find that aggressiveness. So as soon as he cuts in, to shoot. Don't take another touch, come back out. Just when you get into position, look up, cut in, shoot, or when you get to the byline, find a good cross, and it's down to end product. So it's got to be worked on, but the potential's there, and hopefully this season he can bring out the potential.
Yeah, I think if I was to summarise this shortly, because we've not got much longer left in this video, I think the first match we've seen with Maresca ball has been underwhelming. Clear to understand what we are trying to gain, but we're not there yet. And that's okay, because we shouldn't be there, because it's the first game of pre-season. So let's see how the rest of pre-season goes. Let's try and take each game with a pinch of salt for the next couple of weeks at least, and then we can judge from there.
100%. And like I said at the start of the preview, let's not get on the players back. Let's not get in the managers back. Let's just try and take the positives. okay, you got to understand this is a total new process. So all we can do is just believe in it a tiny bit and hopefully see progression going into every game. And then at the start of the season, we see more of a balanced squad, and that could give us some encouragement going forward.
Well, listen, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and let us know what you think about the new studio as well. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All the best, guys, and speak very soon.